Previously on The Wandering Path.
Gordon called Cecilia back down early and convinced her to hand over her travel pass to the upper city, and JJ went home to ask their family about their experiences during the early days of New Prosper, as well as to pack up their childhood stuff. But answers to the current happenings remain elusive, so the plan to break into the governor's office is still on. Okay, let's see what's around the bend, today on The Wandering Path. Ibra, you and Paz catch the afternoon funicular up to the Constellation and take the trolley all the way around to Palace Estates, the section of Upper Prosper that was formerly the head of state's palace back when the war was on, that has now been converted into several family estates, each one unique, but all of them grandiose.
It's great to be back.
As you walk up the driveway, you are greeted by the Bracha Estate, a huge, sprawling section that started as an Art Deco frame that was sort of built into the side of the fortress, that since your family has been in charge of it, has had several additions added to the front of it. A soaring metal and glass Art Deco building has like a stone portcullis built into the driveway and several accents, a gorgeous front lawn, a wide rotunda out in the front driveway centered by, what kind of tree is it?
It's called an ohia lehua. It's the state tree of Hawaii, and it's an evergreen myrtle. It's really slow growing, and it's very, very large. So it's been there for decades on decades on decades.
Yeah.
It has two different types of flowers that grow together, very diopposed, very much the Bracha-Shinmar vibe.
Ooh,
Oh my
yeah.
God, I want a picture for the gram.
Is that the tree that when you would pluck the flowers, it's rumored to rain?
Yes.
Ooh, oh my God.
Oh, that's
They're like
a
prickly
whole.
and lovely. I love
The
it.
little red ones are actually very soft.
Yeah, they're very soft. They just look very
They look
prickly.
prickly.
And then the other flowers are like small and round. They sort of look like berries, but they're flowers.
Oh my God.
As you walk past it, Paz picks a leaf off of the tree and starts like absent-mindedly sort of tearing it up.
You hear a distant rumble of thunder.
Ooh. You head up the wide steps and up to the grand wooden front double doors, and Paz looks at you and just says, "Okay, remember what we're here for?
Yeah, pass.
1 funicular pass with a +1, so we can get all our friends up here. There's a lot standing in your way, but I got you.
Wow, this is such a great pep talk.
I'll work on it.
You got this.
No, you got this."
No, I got this. I got this.
Paz holds up a little thumbs up. We got this.
We got this. I gotta text JJ about this. I gotta ask Fran, is this portcullis tacky or is it just me?
Somewhere far away, you're like, yeah. Yeah, it is. I don't even know where it is, but yeah.
Fran, having never seen it before in her life, knows.
Yeah. If you have to ask, it is.
Wow.
I love Fran.
Shit.
Okay. Can I just take a couple more deep breaths before we open the door? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I got this. I got this. I reach out my hand, and I open the door.
Today, on The Wandering Path, we're going to play a game that I have titled the Bracha Estate.
It's a very easy game for babies.
Yeah.
Easy, no hard try game for babies.
Absolutely.
I'm not scared. It's fine.
It's great.
Oh, yeah, we're playing a game. It's a hack of Urban Shadows by Magpie Games. Shout out. Thank you so much. I've taken a bunch of mechanics from that game and put them into Dungeons & Dragons numbers
Because
so that we
Misha
can play with them.
is a genius.
Well, thank
Inspired,
you.
honestly.
And if you're listening at home, that's a new voice on the podcast. Welcome, Reed Sites.
I'm so excited to be here.
Second guest.
Second guest.
One of us.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so excited to be on the path.
Yeah.
Hey, ooh, man, that sounded cool. The path.
Yeah.
I haven't heard someone truncate it like
Friend
that.
of the
In that
path.
casual way.
Thanks for wandering with us.
Oh, damn, it's all coming out.
It's all coming together.
Before we dive in, I do just want to go over the rules of this little mini game for our listeners at home so that you know what's happening.
And
We're going to play
refresher for all of us.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be playing a little mini game with Ibra and their family at their family home today. So I'm just going to go over the rules a little bit for our listeners just so everybody knows what the heck we're doing. Here are the rules for the Bracha Estate minigame. For all of my players here, when you do someone a favor or someone interferes in your business, they owe you a debt.
Bum, bum, bum.
When someone does you a favor or you interfere in someone else's business, you owe them a debt.
Dun, dun, dun.
Whenever you cash in a debt, you can either gain plus 10 on a persuasion or intimidation check, or you can give the person rolling against you minus 10.
Cool.
When you refuse to honor a debt, which you can do, you'll have to roll a charisma save, and there are options on my little list for depending on what you roll.
Whoa.
And the final rule is this. Remember that the list of debts on your character sheets may be incomplete. Sometimes you may owe more than you think.
Oh my God.
So that's the game we're playing today.
Oh my
I'm so
God.
excited.
Sinister.
With that, let's dive back in. Ibra, you open these big, creaky wooden doors up to the foyer of the Bracha Estate. Inside, it's a vaulted ceiling, large staircase up to the second level, marble tile floors,
Yeah.
just ornate sort of pieces.
Like that green marble with streaks of white.
Yeah, absolutely. The color of money, the color of prosperity. It's not even the color of money in this world, but I still feel it.
There's flecks of gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All of it is like ornate and grand and imposing, but I think it doesn't all quite match. It's not all quite the same style, like almost Cheesecake Factory-like in its mismatchedness.
It almost makes Boggins feel more like home.
At least
so
Boggins has a
funny.
consistent aesthetic, you know what I
It's
mean?
bees all the way down. This one's a quilt of mismatched vibes.
Yeah, but all of those vibes
Are immaculate.
equally intimidating, I would say. This is a foyer built to make an impression on anybody who walks through that door.
Oh my God.
Even though it's
My Emma's already stressed.
I'm so stressed. And I live here. I'm stressed.
even though it's only been a week since Ibra's been back, it sort of stops them in their tracks. The effect works even when you're used to it.
And also, it's like you are coming in with an agenda today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh man, this is what that's for.
Yeah, I think Ibra, at the moment of hesitation, pops out their eternally loose tooth, eerie token, and slips it into Paz's pocket.
Oh, it's the tooth again. Okay.
You're welcome.
I love the tooth. Gotta love the tooth.
Is it wet?
I'm sorry. We've already done that joke in a previous episode. We have to move on.
Cutting it for time.
In your mind, Paz goes, check 1, 2.
3, 4.
Whoa. It's never not weird.
This way we can talk and don't have to move our mouths.
Yeah, I think we will probably find that useful. Good call.
Sorry about the wet.
Yeah, it's fucking in there.
I always figure sliding it in someone's pocket will dry it.
Meeting you in the foyer is Florence, your family's house servant, who offers to take your coat, offers to take any of Paz's accessories. Oh, hey Flo, here you go.
Hey, Flo. Thank you. Do I need a ticket for my coat?
She reaches into a pocket of her waistcoat and pulls out a roll of paper and tears it and hands it to you.
I was kidding. Is this a new thing? Did Mom put this in place?
All of this is standard protocol for a dinner with guests.
Guests?
Yes, of course.
It's just Paz. No offense, Paz. But Paz is family now.
There are more to be expected. Please, your mother is waiting for you.
Oh, thanks, Flo. And in Paz's mind, she hears, what the fuck, what's happening? Who's here? Oh my god.
We have to be on our best behavior. And even in your mind, you can hear the air quotes.
I swear I could see you doing those. Okay, I'm sweaty. Oh, I'm sweaty. I'm glad I don't have a coat on anymore. I'm so sweaty.
You head on back into the drawing room, and sitting in a large leather armchair behind a desk finishing up some paperwork is your mother.
Oh. Good evening, General.
Good evening. Just a moment, please.
Of course.
And I think it almost takes, there's a very pregnant pause of just nothing but pen on paper.
I had
and
a boss like this once.
That's
just made me
scribbling.
wait.
Silence that is to be expected while she is finishing her work, and then just very, almost delicately but purposefully sets the pen into a little ink pot. Arms folded, looks up. It's good to see you, Ibra.
It's good to see you too, Mom.
Have you been?
Great, I got a new job.
Oh.
I'm working with the magistrate now.
Do tell.
There's some weird things happening around, and
Weird? You're going to need to be more specific.
I wish I could be. Unfortunately...
You wish? Wishing is for people who don't have skills, Ibra. I believe you have those skills.
I do have those skills. I am unable, due to the current job description and requirements. To be more forthright, I would love to answer every question. I am not permitted under my current employment contract.
Very good. Continue.
I'm working for the magistrate. I'm no longer doing job placements. I'm doing something a little bit more tailored to the skill set that you so graciously instilled in me. I am doing some work in accordance with the governor through the tutelage and guidance of the magistrate.
I see. So tell me, why did you turn down this position with Inspector Ravona?
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, how did you know? I'm working for Inspector Ravona just through the magistrate.
I heard you were very rude.
Rude? Out of curiosity, where did you hear this?
I find the dodging very disconcerting.
I believe I missed the question. I did not mean to dodge anything.
Paz, it's lovely to see you.
Nice to see you, General Shinmar.
Have you been?
And she, looks at Ibra, clearly sweating. Fine, good.
That's wonderful. Were you given a number for your coat?
Yes.
Lovely. And with that, she does stand. You see that she's a very tall woman. Her hair has been sort of tucked into a bun with a braid. It's very much function with a dash of fashion, as to be expected. She's wearing the usual sort of casual military outfit, though she hasn't had to do any proper military service in a while. These kinds of dinners, she wears the outfit.
For sure.
Along with a sword that is sort of tucked at the side. This is usual. Well, I'm looking forward to having dinner this evening.
As am I. I heard from Florence that there is a guest.
Yes, I thought Inspector Ravona would be a lovely addition to tonight's dinner.
And a chime resounds throughout the estate.
That might be her now. I look forward to you having, discussions about work, since you're working with her through the magistrate.
I look forward to it as well. It will be good to see her again.
I'm hoping we can corroborate on these stories. I'm hearing different tales. It's very concerning. And with that, I walk past Ibra to go greet our guests.
Oh my god!
I don't think I can play this game anymore.
I fucking called it, Misha!
I'm sick today. I can't go to work today.
I hate that I called it. It still wasn't
I'm
ready.
sick. And you know what's so funny is I saw on the sheet a thing about it. I was like, Ravona's not going to be here. Idiot. Moron.
So dumb.
So stupid of me.
Hey, but we're not us. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have that
Honestly,
relationship. With
That's worse. It's worse that we're not us because we can't do anything.
That's fair.
Ibra, your mother brushes past you to go answer the door for Inspector Ravona. What do you do?
I think Ibra is frozen. The only thing moving is their brainwaves at this point.
What do we do?
We have dinner with Inspector Ravona.
Okay. Stay on mission. Mm-hmm. It's not about that. It's not about that, right?
No, I didn't know I was rude. I was just injured. Am I rude when I'm injured? Oh no.
Take it from me. Sometimes when you're in pain, your social mores kind of like go out the window.
Oh, I have an apology to make. Oh no.
Okay. Do you think your siblings also know about the special surprise guest at this fancy dinner?
I mean, they live here, so maybe they've had a conversation with Mom already. Speculation. Oh no.
Where are they?
Probably in that. If they're not already waiting at the we should go to the dinner table. We should go wait at the dinner table. I don't want to be late.
You head out of the drawing room and into the large, lavish dining room, long rectangular table set with like multiple candelabras and like fancy dinner places, like meticulously laid out by the house staff. I think sitting at the dinner table, leaned back in a chair that was not really made to be leaned back in, like a straight backed wooden chair, but slouched in it, texting on their compad, your sibling Hima.
Hi, Ibra. Paz.
What a warm welcome, Hima. How kind of you.
How was the trip?
Boring?
So pedestrian of you. And I keep texting on my phone, just look down and completely ignore you.
Who you texting?
None of your business.
You're right, it's not. I'm just curious.
I look up and I just stare daggers at Ibra. Like years and years of sibling history being like, do not.
Wow. You're in a bad mood.
Hima, will you roll intimidation?
Ooh, here we go.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah, I'll roll intimidation.
First roll?
Fuck yeah. First roll.
of the
And I'm gonna
Infinity
roll the
game?
dragon eye
Ooh,
die.
boy.
Let's
Dragon eye
go. It's 11.
Cool.
Siblings don't intimidate each other that much.
Yeah, Ibra, you don't know what act Hima's putting on, but it's got to be for some reason, you assume?
Yeah. Been to Boggins recently?
But see, that's like a dig on you, kind of, because that's a secret I hold for you.
You also weren't supposed to be there. You were seeing someone you weren't supposed to be seeing.
Oh, a Spider-Man meme.
What were you doing at the Devil's Sacrament?
The Umbrella Academy meme where they're both looking at each other and passing cards.
Yes.
What?
Who was it I was seeing?
I haven't given a name to them yet, but
Oh,
it was
great.
someone that you also owe me a debt for having me break up with them by pretending to be you.
Oh.
Right.
So Boggins is heavy for you as well.
This is
my
bad.
God.
This isn't good, you guys.
I'm loving the vibe. I'm
So
thriving.
you look at me and you say, have you been to Boggins recently? And then I stare even more daggers at you. And I reach forward and I grab a bottle of like a very expensive white wine and uncork it and silently pour myself a glass. And then I move the glass to me and I slump back in my chair and give you one last like deathly dagger look. And then I look to Paz and I go, good to see you, Paz. And take a sip and look down.
Sup, Hima?
Yeah, for everyone at home, you should just like throw a hand sign.
Ayo.
I don't even know if I say anything. I think I just maintain silence.
Paz looks at you, doesn't break eye contact, and then winks and goes, gotcha.
Delight.
In your head, Ibra, you hear, when people are trying to put on airs, all you gotta do is hit them with the sup and the hand sign. It throws them off their game every time.
You know, as many times as you've done that, you'd think I'd have learned by now.
It's like, honestly, such a good move.
You're right. Look at their face. They look so
Jester
silly.
privilege.
God
Absolutely.
love jester privilege.
Hey, Hima, are there assigned seats tonight?
Yes, you're next to me.
Oh, yay.
Paz is next to you on the left. And then this Ravona character is on the other side of the table next to Mother.
You're across from Ravona.
Yes.
Have you met before?
No, but I've heard many things about this woman. What is going on?
You really want to know?
Yes.
How badly do you want to know?
Badly enough. Tell me.
Sounds like someone is doing someone a favor. Ooh.
I'm gonna mark that
This
down.
isn't good because I feel like I already owe a lot of debts and I'm just like racking up debts.
Hey, embrace the system. You're doing it.
That's what the goofy silly sibling does. He just racks up debts and checks he can't cash.
Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Texts. He lie, he eat hot chip, and he owe debt.
What the fuck was that?
It's a classic meme.
I've never
classic
seen he eat
meme.
hot chip.
Eat hot chip and lie.
I gotta,
Girls only know eat hot chip, be bisexual, and lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the
I love
one.
that meme.
gotta
It's
check
such
that
a.
out.
I gotta find me a hot chip.
I was gonna say, oh no, I'm a girl.
Oh no! Oh no!
All this gender exploration for nothing.
Oh no! Hey, but you get the hottest chips.
Well,
I grab the wine and I lean in and I'm now starting to smirk.
I was handpicked for a job. I did the job. I was not informed nearly enough about the job before or after I nearly died on the job protecting society, people, my team, and the entire city. And when asking for more information, my boss, Ravona, turned on us and told us we were children and not to be trusted. So even though I still have the job, I'm now deferring to a different supervisor than Ravona because she doesn't like me.
Two things. One, you just said job and boss so many times. I'm sick to my stomach. I got Misha, bro. And two, who cares? Why is Mother bringing this gnat to dinner?
Because she wants to hook you up, obviously.
Funny. Very funny.
Also, you do realize Dad has a job and goes to work. Or do you sneer at him?
But he doesn't say the word, Ibra.
He doesn't come around to say anything.
Well, that's true.
He's too busy at his job.
Don't say it. Oh, gosh. Ugh. Well, I have a tip for you, if you like. But it'll cost you.
I don't need a tip.
Suit yourself. And I take another sip of my white wine. Good luck tonight, sibling.
I, as Bex, am curious. Ibra is spiteful.
That's fair. I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Man, it was a juicy tip.
I believe it.
It was a hot chip.
It was a hot chip tip.
It's a hot chip tip.
Oh, no.
I think at this point, Hima, you feel on the back of your chair a strong force push the chair up to upright position. You know that they're not meant to bend back like that.
Ow. Yes, of course.
Ibra, it's so good to see you.
Hey, Sib.
When did you arrive?
I'm bad at time, but about 5 minutes ago.
All right. Oh, I'm so sorry
30
that I was not
seconds.
here to greet
32
you.
seconds.
Florence, do you have the tickets? You have the tickets?
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
wonderful.
Yeah, are the
wonderful.
tickets new?
Yes. Well, no, they're not, but they're new for tonight. They're important for tonight. It's very important that everybody gets a ticket for
Hey,
tonight.
Brahms? Mm-hmm. It's really good to see you.
It's so good to see you. And I give you like a quick kiss on
Kiss.
both both cheek, both cheek.
How elvish of you.
Yeah, yes, oui. Hima, you weren't supposed to open the bottle yet. That was supposed to be when we all sat down.
Who cares?
Ha! All right, I'm just gonna go get another one. You can put that one under your seat or something, just so that it because we don't want Inspector Ravona to see an open bottle before they get here. I'm gonna go and grab another bottle from the cellar.
Yeah, you just rush back out of the room.
I go, score. And I put the bottle under my own seat.
Insight check on Brama.
Yes, so insight checks are working a little different today. Again, taking some mechanics wholesale from Urban Shadows. Shout out Magpie Games. Shout out. When you're rolling insight on someone, there's a list of questions that you may ask of them, depending on how high you roll, shows how many you get to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Sexy. I rolled a 15. I get to ask one question.
Okay, yeah. So you get to ask of Brama one of the following questions. Who's pulling their strings? What's their beef with someone? What are they hoping to get from someone? What do they worry is going to happen? How could you get them to do something? Or how could you put them in your debt?
So I think if you find me in the cellar while I'm trying to pick out another wine.
I think I have 3 really interesting options that I'm struggling to choose from.
Okay.
So I'm gonna procrastinate by having Ibra walk down the stairs to the cellar.
Amazing. Okay, so not that one. No, that wasn't the same one. No, that's a different year. Okay, we've got to get the same
You know,
year.
Dad hides the really, really good stuff behind that shelf.
Right. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, not that one. No, that's not a white. It needs to be
Yeah,
white.
Brama, are you picking the ones from the good shelf that Ibra has picked out for you, or are you now that they've been pointed out by your sibling, are you avoiding that shelf?
I think I'm humoring Ibra by looking.
Yeah.
And then being like, no, I think it should be the same one. It should be the same one that was on the table already because that was the one that Mom picked out already. So I'm just gonna.
Before Brahma can get back to that shelf, I slide over. Can I sleight of hand the last bottle off the shelf?
Ooh, yeah, you can. Okay,
So rude.
Ibra, sleight of hand. Brama, you don't have a perception stat, do you?
Let me see here. I have performance, persuasion, deception, insight, and intimidation.
I think you could probably roll with your same insight number.
I think that's fair because also like I am trained.
Yeah. So for the audience at home, the NPCs that Ian and Mayana are playing have some stats, but not all. So
Yeah.
we're gonna make it work.
It's a 10.
Okay.
15.
Nice. You successfully nab the last bottle of the same white wine.
It should be here. Where is it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my
Do you want some help finding a good white one from Dad's stores? Because I know the really good years now.
god. Ibra. Fine. Yes. Help me.
I walk over, I sort through the years, trying to find like just the one that's matured just enough to be still a similar flavor profile to the one that that I just hid. I think she'll like this one. Hey, have you met Inspector Ravona before?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Oh. She's fascinating, isn't she?
She is. She's very accomplished,
Yes.
very capable, very smart, very good leader.
What do you look a little worried. What are you worried is gonna happen tonight?
I just want everything to go well. You know, Mom's writing a lot on this, and you know, because it's my new job, I just want to make sure that my boss is
New job,
yeah,
new boss.
yes, yeah. I'm working for Inspector Ravona.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a really big opportunity for me.
Yeah.
You know, after somebody turned down the opportunity.
What do you mean? I didn't turn down any opportunity.
And I'm gonna keep looking. All right, this is them. Do you think this is a good one? You think the one?
I think it's fabulous.
Okay,
You didn't answer my question though. What are you worried is gonna happen?
Ibra, could you just, please? I know that you know you have your whole life and you have your whole thing, but like I still live here, and I still have to live here. So could you just not turn the screw tonight, please?
I don't ever want to make anything more difficult for you, Sib. You know that.
Right. Well, even if you didn't intend to, sometimes you do. That's all I'll say. I'm gonna rush back out to the dining room.
That's fair.
Like the minute Brahma walks into the dining room, I could see the look on their face, and you hear me laugh from the other room, and I go, "Calm down, Brahma. You're such a worrywart."
Well, somebody has to, right?
No, nobody does actually have to.
I slide the bottle back into its place.
I think, yeah, Paz looks at Hima and goes, well, you should worry about more stuff. And then looks to Brahma and is like, well, not that much stuff. What? And then she looks kind of both at you and like gestures across the table and just goes, stuff.
Right. Paz, you are such a character. Hima, I understand that to you this is not very important, but it is really important to me, and I really, really would love this to go well. So could we all just get along, please? Please.
Hima smiles devilishly at the table. What's it worth to you?
Oh my God, what do you want? Okay.
I would like you to say one embarrassing thing at the table tonight in front of Ravona. If you do, then I won't embarrass you.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Fine. And it's very stiff handshake out to you.
I languidly reach my hand over and shake softly.
And your two pale, slightly blue-tinged hands meet across the table.
Yeah.
Ibra, downstairs in the cellar, actually, on the way out, stops, turns back, grabs the bottle of wine they hid, and walks it back upstairs.
Oh my God, amazing. I love it so much.
Hey, Brama, look what I found.
Oh, wonderful. Where was that, I wonder?
It was hiding. Must have been put in the wrong
You too
spot.
with your tricks. It was always so funny. Oh, so funny with the tricks. Let's all just prank Brama. It's so funny, isn't it? I'm gonna go check on the coats. I'm just gonna go organize the coats.
I think as you try to scurry out of the dining room, you're met and stopped at the threshold by your mother.
Mother.
I think it's mid-conversation of, and you'll really appreciate the wine. It was the exact same year that I believe you were born.
Mother, hello.
Brama, you seem to be in such a hurry.
I just wanted to check with Florence to make sure that all of the coats were in the correct numerical order.
Of course. How dutiful of you. Very detail-oriented, this one.
As I see, Inspector Ravona walks into the dining room and strolls across to her chair and slowly scans each of you, her eyes resting for an uncomfortably long moment on each one of you in her turn.
Ibra holds eye contact.
I think I'm holding eye contact with both of you, expecting you to stand.
I do.
Perfect.
I stand as soon as she enters the room, and I maintain eye contact even when she's looking at others.
So proud.
Hima also stands but doesn't have eye contact with you.
I love it so much.
Reed's staring at me in real time and won't stop, so Hima waits a moment and then finally has one quick look, eyes to eyes with Mother, and then
I think it's just a very curt nod of yeah, I've raised you better. Make eye contact, for crying out loud.
I hold up the bottle of wine that I've brought up from the bottom. Would you like me to open it, Mother?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Of course. I get up, I uncork the wine, and I pour for every single glass at the table before returning to my seat.
Ravona slowly and with impeccable posture sort of takes a place beside her chair. And she looks around each of you in turn and goes, Hima, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You as well, Inspector.
Brama, nice to see you again.
It's good to see you as well.
Ibra.
It's an honor.
I imagine it would be.
I simply nod with a smile.
And she unbuttons the done-up buttons on her vest and takes a seat.
We are so grateful to have you here at dinner tonight.
I'm so glad you could escape your busy schedule to join us. And I'm amazed that you have met my family.
Your family has greatly come to the attention of my office. You are, and she looks over at the general and she says, you are all renowned warriors in your own right, a thing this city sorely needs. Devout warriors, driven to a singular task. I'm so fortunate to have Brama come under my wing.
It'll be a pleasure to work alongside one of my siblings.
I'm so glad you say that, actually.
I don't look at you. I maintain eye contact with
I used to
Ravona.
eat the flowers off the tree in the front yard, and then I go check on the flowers. And then I go check on the closet. I go check on the coats.
Okay, that breaks my eye contact.
Oh my God!
Yeah, everyone stares after Brama as they leave. And there's a really long moment. And then Paz just goes,
I have the most wicked smile on my face.
To be fair, half of the flowers looked like berries.
That's true, they did.
I mean, I didn't, but
No.
I can understand.
No.
and if I had such a gorgeous tree growing outside of my childhood home, I would perhaps be tempted. I have slightly more caution in mind. I don't know that I would just eat any old thing I saw growing on a tree.
We make sure that everything in our home is safe within reason, and we really encourage curious minds, especially in youth. But as we get older, we find we must all snap to responsibility. Wouldn't you all agree?
The silence is heavy.
The coats are well organized. I'm back.
Thank you, Brama. Please have a seat.
Am I sitting next to Inspector Ravona?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you're working together. It's important that you guys get a chance to chit-chat.
Of course.
I think it's Hima, Ibra Paz, and then on the other side is Ravona and Brama, and then at the head is General Shinmar.
But we're all sitting close enough that I think we could pass the butter to each other.
I was just curious.
But I imagine the table is still comically long, but we're just grouped up at
There's a
one
little
side.
corner.
Yeah, classic.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I do think that that's the case because I think that, yes, you have a weekly family dinner and this one has a particular guest, but I also imagine that you're throwing other events at other
Oh,
times.
heck yes. Unfortunately, that is what takes up General Shinmar's time, as much as I think secretly she wishes this wasn't what was taking up her time.
Ooh.
I love that.
Dinner parties are not really her thing, but at the
think
same time, you got to play the game.
Absolutely. Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Do would I know that?
I think you would.
I think I would too.
I think it is similar to taking your daily vitamins.
Yeah.
I have to plan dinner parties.
you don't
I
like
guess.
dinner parties.
I'm not a dinner party person. I would much rather be doing katas in the square.
I think as I sit down, if I'm across from Hima, I just really look at you. Just like,
I smile so nice and sweetly, and then, still looking at you, I say, "So, Inspector, you've come all this way to join us for dinner. Why don't you regale us with the goings-on of the lower city?"
The lower city, as it always is a bustling hub of change. Everything is tossed over week to week. You never know what you're going to find. Here in the constellation, I find things are a little more static, a little more set in its ways, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes the ways are good. And Ravona gestures to the table in front of her, so that when something falls out of place here in the constellation, it is easier to take note. Don't you agree, Brama?
of course, absolutely. Very astute observation, Inspector Ravona.
That, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong because I am often wrong, that is to do with the upper city. I believe that I could fill in what's been going on in the lower city.
Could you now?
Oh,
Absolutely.
By all means.
By all means.
Well, we have been dealing with attacks on the city down below. From an unknown origin, with unknown levels of danger, with as yet to be discovered abilities. Someone blew up the bridges in the Undercity. Someone came back to finish the job. And when they did so, they activated a device that activated a mechanism that went rampaging. I did my very best to be its only target. However, in its mess, it attempted to hit me and further destroyed more of the highway structure. I took it down, not before it took me down. I was brought back by a team whom I trust, and we finished the job. Something is happening that people are forgetting, and it's our job to keep them safe and figure out what it is. Isn't that right, Inspector?
Mostly.
What am I missing?
Ibra, why don't you go ahead and roll persuasion?
Dirty 20.
yeah.
Ka-chow!
Ravona takes a long sip of her wine and says, "What you're missing is that these incidents are connected to dangerous and hazardous materials that it is unsafe for the public to stumble across. My office has been developing protocols around the containment of these materials. And when I asked you to turn them over, your friend, the fashionable one,
Fran Weaver.
yes, Ms. Weaver, looked me in the eye and refused. Now, she could have any number of reasons, and I don't mean to ascribe. But anybody who wouldn't hand over these dangerous materials to the proper authorities is dangerous.
I agree.
To be fair, ma'am, you told us we were the proper authorities but wouldn't tell us the proper protocols or what we were looking for.
Begging your pardon, Ibra, I was told you would be the proper authorities.
Yes, it sounds like your associates are quite irresponsible.
I would have to agree.
Thank you, Mother.
Ibra, I believe you have acted wonderfully. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Mother.
However, I'm worried about these associates that you claim to trust. They did what I consider the bare minimum. I think you can do a lot more. With better partners.
I respect your opinion, Mother.
So you agree?
I am not in charge of my team. The magistrate is, and I trust the magistrate.
What are their qualifications exactly?
We have an alchemist, a master chemist, an absolutely incredible asset to the team in terms of science and intelligence. We have a crafter, quite masterful to watch her work. She has managed to weave magic into objects. Talent I've never seen the likes of in terms of creativity and capacity to create and destroy in equal measure. We have a mechanist, someone who is deeply, deeply studied in everything to do with the mines, with engineering, with technology, with deep connections to the boots on the ground, so to speak, the people who build our society on the ground, the people who keep us floating up here. We also have a storm goddess.
She sounds cool. I don't know anything else, but that one sounds neat.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And then Paz takes a huge sip of wine.
And we have me. You know what I can do.
I do.
I believe they're qualified.
They sound quite qualified indeed. If you'll all entertain me, have you heard the story of my first battalion? They were a rather qualified group, and we all trusted each other. And I believed that we all had the good for our fellow man in mind. However, we didn't quite mesh well together, I think. Things happen on the battlefield, you know. You can trust each other as much as you want, but sometimes the skills don't mesh together like cogs as they should. And that's how you lose part of your spine that day. And I am thankful there were outside medics to help me. And I would hate the same thing to happen to my child.
I'm very sorry that your team could not support you the way you needed and deserved to be supported. Mother, have you ever heard of overpowering Astra?
I feel like you're about to enlighten me.
There are new studies that magic and will have a connection. And if you can impose enough will on magic, you can surpass its limits. That is the only reason I sit before you today, Mother. My teammate surpassed the limits of Astra with their own will in order to keep me in the fight.
And we thank the gods that went well. Did you hear anything I just said about hazardous materials? Do you know how dangerous it could be to try to use the thing you found at the construction site in such a fashion?
You paid my medical bills. You know that I know how dangerous things can be.
A favor to your mother, which, if I'm not mistaken, this dinner is meant to make amends for, to even the scales, as it were.
Yes, it is, Inspector.
I don't mean to reveal your...
I think it's about time. The appetizers are coming out after all.
What is she talking about?
Considering some of the choices your sibling has made and the danger they have thrown themselves into, and the trust they've put into their compatriots who, unfortunately, allowed them to fall into such a state, there's been a bit of a muckery between our lovely relationship with the Inspector Ravona, a relationship I am hoping we can build as strong as the tree out in the front yard. And I'm hoping this could be a time we all come together and excel past our current means. I think we could all work together rather splendidly. I think a transfer of departments is in order. And we can all work together properly as a family. Now I was meaning to reveal that over dessert, but I do think that we can all digest that during the meal. Wouldn't you agree?
And as though on cue, the doors to the kitchen are thrown open, and servants begin to serve the first course.
First girls.
Hey there, it's Misha. This is the rest stop. Come take a break beside the path with me, just until we catch our breath. Do you need a second? This is a very stressful episode. Sorry, but also not sorry. Sometimes families are nice, like last episode, and sometimes they're very not. And Ibra's is not. That's why found families are so important too. And we're so grateful to have our found family over at patreon.com/wanderingpathpod. A big old shout out to Disney Aubrey, who joined us at the Voyager level, so they'll get a shout out in every episode, alongside our cartographer level patrons Mubarak Dalbri and JWX, who upgraded this week. Thanks, Jay. And if you want to join our found family, bring us life, sustain us, and bring us to new seasons, come sign up with us at any level, starting at just a few dollars per episode. One more time, patreon.com/wanderingpathpod. And just another huge round of applause for Reed Seitz, who is killing it in this episode as General Shinmar. Reed and Mayana also star together on StoryQuest, an actual play platform focused on heartwarming and cinematic storytelling in bite-sized packages. Their first campaign, Supernova, is cooking now. That uses the Spelljammer setting, which is like pirate ships in magic space. It's very sick. And if you love Mayana as much as we do, and you're loving Reed in this episode, then you will love to watch them together on StoryQuest. I guarantee it. Check out StoryQuest on Twitch, YouTube, or go to their website, storyquest.tv. Our sponsor this week is Tab for a Cause, a browser extension that lets you raise money for charity while doing your thing online. Whenever you open a new tab in your browser, like to look up what an Ohia Lehua flower looks like, because Bex is right, they are very pretty, Tab for a Cause will show you a beautiful photo and a small ad. Part of that ad money goes towards charity of your choice, and there's a ton of charities and causes to choose from, like reproductive health, bail funds, Action Against Hunger, Human Rights Watch, climate change action groups, and more. And they recently launched Tab for Democracy, which raises funds specifically to get out the youth vote. And not to be like that, but the election's right around the corner, so that's pretty necessary this week in particular. And best of all, you get to choose how much of your contribution goes where. The power is in your hands. Join our team by signing up at tabforacause.org/wanderingpath and help support your favorite causes and your favorite podcast. One more time, tabforacause.org/wanderingpath. Okay, that's it for now. Let's get back on the path and back to the show. The serving staff takes away the dishes from your appetizer course. I feel like they're little circular ramekins that was served ceviche, because you guys are all like high protein snacks all the time. Mm-hmm. So the little ramekins were perfectly placed in the center of your serving dishes, and now they're cleared away like swiftly and quietly. General Shinmar, your staff knows exactly what you expect of them, and they do it.
I think there's a horrible moment where the plate is set in front of me and I visually measure if it's in the center or not. I don't put my hand out. It's just a moment of look, check, good.
I watch you do that every time.
Every time. Every time. And I look at everyone else's. If it's not in the center, someone's getting fired. Someone's gotten fired for that before.
Ooh. I love being on the side of the table that doesn't give a shit about people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, feels so nice to not care about the little people. and just have like, you know, I don't know, existential crisis on the brink of the world and just not really give a shit.
Oh my God. It's like Roman Roy.
I would Succession. Yeah.
I think you listeners out there can tell all these people playing new characters today, locked in. They're locked in. They're so in
We
it.
really cooked with this one.
But we cooked with citrus, not gas.
There you go.
Because it was ceviche. Yes. That was too many levels.
No, I love that. I love Ian's secret cooking knowledge. Yeah. Every time I'm always like, oh my God.
I'm going to go
need to
make
have him cook
ceviche
for us
after
eventually.
today.
Yeah.
I'm going to straight up make
Take
shrimp
a picture
ceviche
of
for
it.
dinner. I will.
We'll put it on the gram.
You put it on gram.
Fucking good. Okay. Feel like we've been sitting and digesting and thinking, because that was like a massive bomb that was dropped, right?
Yeah, that we're trying to get Ibra back on the thing.
I think General Shinmar, at a periphery, has been keeping an eye on Ibra and is waiting for the next rebuttal as she is just served for their court and is, you can tell, ready almost for the next bout and volley on dinner.
Well, luckily for Mother, I'm not going to let us get to the next rebuttal.
Ooh.
Because I had so much fun watching Ravona sweat earlier that's the more interesting game to me. So I turn to Inspector Ravona and I say, Inspector, I don't understand why you're so concerned about the danger of all of these materials. Isn't it your job to deal with dangerous things every day?
It certainly is, and that's why I expect compliance from my employees. And she pointedly looks at Ibra.
I believe, madam, I'm employed by the magistrate.
And we are all working as a team. Infighting will get us nowhere. And I think undermines the magistrate, don't you think?
Not at all. I'm just stating a fact. No infighting here, Mother.
I agree with Ibra. And you know, we around the table are all in on the fact that we are potentially the most capable people in the upper or lower city. So why is Ibra not the best to handle this dangerous material? Inspector?
I will grant you that the three of you here at this table are perhaps some of the most physically capable people available to my office.
I would say 4, including my mother, wouldn't you?
Oof.
I think that goes without saying.
I
Ibra.
believe you deserve to have it said, Mother. It's only respectful.
How kind.
Be that as it may, physical prowess is not everything. This is not the war. We cannot simply bash our heads against a greater foe and hope that we win. This requires judgment, care, a level-headedness that has proven a challenge to sift through and look for.
Aside from my mother, Brama has the clearest, steadiest head of anyone I've ever met. I understand why you've chosen them.
I absolutely agree.
Do you trust them with the material?
I think it's important to acknowledge where we excel and where we lack.
I agree. I'm trying to really highlight where my sibling Brama excels, and I'd love an answer to make sure that this inspector really respects my sibling and their prowess.
Ibra, I'm a little shocked. I believe we covered in your rhetoric classes, debate, and leadership classes, if you've been taking them, that those who just point out the problems in a room shouldn't be talking in the room. Solutions are greatly appreciated. Do you have any in mind?
I do. I believe a wonderful solution would be hearing the answer from Inspector Ravona to my question.
And I agree. And I'm looking at my mother with like a mischievous face.
I'm having flashbacks as just like this is the thing that they would do when we were kids is they'd like get into these like once Hima and Ibra were locked in on something and they would just like go back and forth like this. I was like, oh no, it's happening again.
I want to find, I don't think she owes me a debt, but I want to find a way, like I wonder if there's a way that I can roll intimidation in this moment on my mother.
Ooh.
I mean, maybe I'm just rolling it either way, and if there isn't a...
You can roll.
I believe that Mother owes me a debt for interfering in my progress with Ravona right now.
There we go. There we have it.
-10.
You can't give your -10 to one of your siblings.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm using it on my mother.
Hima's the one rolling.
Hima's the one rolling. You can't transfer a debt, so this way the roll.
Okay, does it work if we're both staring daggers?
No, because Hima's
Okay.
the one rolling.
Okay.
I love that for you. I believe I'm going to cash in one of my debts on your intimidation check for me. I birthed you.
Is that on your sheet?
Yes! I brought you into this world as a debt that you have to me.
I believe if I recall correctly, it says, you brought them into this world, ...
Yeah.
Fucking course. And we all know what that
fucking
dot
means. I think it's just a moment of you're trying to intimidate me, and it's just a moment of a quirked eyebrow of, really?
Well, let's see how that affects Hima.
Here we go.
The
Really?
motherly
So
eyebrow.
-10 to this.
Oh.
I rolled a 2.
-8.
Wow.
That's
Dang.
cute.
So that eyebrow sends Hima back into total silence.
Yeah, I think, like, Hima, you have grown bold over the course of this past year, and especially this evening. Like, you were feeling good, you were feeling aloof, you were feeling in control. You think you can toss a look off and it'll affect your mother, and then you remember who taught you how to toss looks.
Sorry, Ibra. I didn't say that. That's not across the table.
Brama, I meant what I said. I trust you more than almost anyone. I would like to know the answer if the inspector will not answer.
Of course I trust Brama. I trust Brama to bring me any materials they find because they have, and they will.
It's called respecting the chain of command, Ibra.
Did you inform Brama of the material they were looking for before asking them to bring it to you? Because you did not for me.
It's very interesting. In the chain of command of things, you need to trust your superior.
I trusted my superior to inform me what I was looking for, and they did not.
I think you need to trust that they withhold information for your better good.
If it's a dangerous material, is it my better good to not know?
Yes.
Why?
Perhaps you're too young to understand these things. I just take a sip of wine.
Perhaps.
But if it is dangerous and you don't have the proper protections in place, you can't properly handle the material. Excuse me.
No, you're right, Brama. That's why I have feelings about this. I want to make sure you're safe and I'm safe.
Your mother once again proves herself a wise and capable woman. She knows how important it is to reveal certain information to certain people at certain times. Ibra, I would have told you eventually.
After I blew myself up accidentally by not handling the material properly.
Why are you... And her reptilian nostrils flare. You would only be misusing materials if you were attempting to use them at all. Whereas Brama, when they find something dangerous and unknown, immediately turns it into me.
I have no intention of using it. However, if it is as volatile as you say, if anything could activate it at any time, I need to know that so that I can handle it properly.
That's not what I said. What I said was misusing it is dangerous, and you were about to misuse it.
How could you be sure? I don't have any intention of using anything other than my skills to protect the city.
The materials we seek are volatile and powerful and tempting.
Tempting. Are you tempted?
I don't have to respond to that.
You don't.
You know who was tempted? You know who I think was tempted? The person who lied to me about having it in their possession and refused to give it over to me and refused to even admit that they'd found it when I knew that you had.
You have not been honest with us or clear. You know what? I realize I'm overstepping my bounds. Mother, may I excuse myself for 5 minutes to take a walk and clear my head? I don't want to be disrespectful to our guest.
Florence,
Yes, General.
would you be so kind as to escort my darling child on a walk? It seems that they need to cool their head, and I worry that they're going to need a shoulder to discuss things with, and perhaps Florence would be good by your side.
Thank you, Mother.
Paz speaks up and goes, I can go with them.
Of course, Paz.
I can go with them too, Mother. No need
Hima,
to...
you're not excused.
I think actually Hima should also escort them on the walk.
I'm very confused by this.
I'm
Brama-
also confused. Go ahead.
Brama, will you roll persuasion?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How
Is it
can I
against
give
me?
them advantage?
It's
It is
against
against you.
Oh, it's against the mom.
It's against your mom.
Persuasion. I'm gonna invoke a debt.
Do it.
Yeah, can you tell me how?
Yeah, tell me that debt.
I believe under the current circumstances, given that I have agreed to take on this position in Ibra's absence, that I would much prefer for us to perhaps have a quiet sidebar, if that would be to please the mother.
Dang, I just want to give it, but they have to roll, don't they?
Yeah, but they're gonna get plus 10.
Yeah, good.
Persuasion.
That's too good.
That's a 27 plus 2. It's 29.
Yes!
Jesus.
I think there is a pause. There is a very clear softening on sort of my dark skin features. Of course. Thank you for your wisdom and guidance.
No problem.
Hima, perhaps a bit of fresh air would do you good. Eyes go down to the bottle under your chair. If you're able to walk at all.
Oh my god. Damn.
How much of this wine have I drank?
Do you want to roll a constitution?
Yeah.
13.
I'm gonna go ahead and say half the bottle, and it's just like maybe a mild sway in your gait, in your walk.
You can pretend it's swagger.
I'm feeling great. It is swagger, just so we're clear. I look to my mother, I go, "Thank you, Mother. I appreciate you." And I very languidly push my chair back, stand
Screeches.
up,
God.
and walk to the exit.
Flo, may I grab my coat if we're going outside?
Flo reaches into her waistcoat, and I have to tell you, there's only 5 of you. It's not a system that requires numbers. So she pulls out the one that says 3, and goes, no, and puts it back in her pocket and pulls out the 4 and gives it to you.
Thank you.
Love Flo so much. Must be protected.
At all costs. Inside Paz's head, you hear, "Hey, do you think my siblings put their passes in their coats like I do?"
Oh my god.
Mayana and Ian,
Yes.
be honest with me.
Uh-huh.
You have information about where your characters go in their off time.
Uh-huh.
Can you please write down where you keep your funicular pass and show me?
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
In the safe, in the bowels of the estate.
My funicular
Right, they live here. I'm
I
like, this
know.
is the longest shot in hell.
Oh, yeah.
Paz looks at both of them as you guys exit the dining room and just says, Brama never goes down to the lower city. Maybe Hima?
Gotta check him. As I usher my unruly sibling, my best friend, out of the dining room and follow Flo, I bow to my mother, and as I turn and swipe past Brahma's head, I say, "I'm sorry, always," and walk out.
Oh my God.
I think under my breath to myself, I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with that?
So I think we get to the foyer, or the foyer, depending on where you were raised.
And if you're not, and if you're an elf or not, I guess.
And if you're an elf or not. The foyer.
Foyer.
And so I have a question for you, which is, was that thunder that we heard in the distance at the beginning, has that become a storm outside?
Ooh, yeah, I think dark gray clouds are rolling in and kind of like block what would otherwise be another beautiful constellation sunset.
Flo, it looks like we might need some umbrellas. I believe they're in the coat closet with our coats. May I accompany you and help you carry?
Of course, Master Ibra, thank you. And you head to the coat closet.
Oh my god.
I'm grabbing my coat. I'm grabbing Hima's coat,
Yeah.
and I'm checking it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand. Hima.
They're not there.
It's true.
Oh.
I didn't go with them.
I thought that through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making Florence look for the umbrellas.
Oh.
So smart. You're good at this. Ooh.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand with advantage.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Clever, sneaky Ibra.
It was a natural 20 and a 5.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. Ibra, you offer to help Flo with the coats and umbrellas. Flo goes off to grab the umbrellas, which are not an item you need every day, and so she is wholly distracted as you rummage through the pockets of Hima's coat. You feel a little spike in your heart rate because you check both the outside pockets, the inside breast pockets. You don't find anything. It seems like Hima has not used this coat for a couple of days and has emptied it out. And then, as you grab around, you feel something hidden in the lining.
Yes.
And you slide your fingers between the seam of the coat, and you pull out a laminated funicular pass.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
I slide it into my jacket, into my secret pocket, into my Shinmar Bracha book, and I zip it tight. And then I throw all the coats over my arm, and I help Flo with 1 or 2 umbrellas, and we walk back outside.
Paz is talking to Hima What are you and Paz talking about?
I think I'm talking to Paz about if there's any interesting places in the lower city because I like to go down there all the time.
And of course, Paz is going to talk about her favorite place in the world.
Yes.
Boggins Bistro.
So funny. Yes. The rich girl who loves a kitschy restaurant is one of my favorite, like, character archetypes.
Paz is descended from rich, but Paz is
Right.
I'm telling Paz she's so pedestrian and that she should check out this underground.
It's so fun, though. They have games. They have great food. I'm really upset that they closed. I really hope they reopen soon. I love that place.
We're chatting about that. So my first question is, because they rolled a natural 20, if I should just not roll any of these dice. But the question to me is, first, does Hima elect to put on their coat or not? Because there's umbrellas.
If it's
And then
raining.
second, if they put on their coat, do they feel that their pass is missing? And I was thinking rolling like an evens odds.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, you don't have I didn't give you guys a perception skill. I guess I really should have done that.
It's all good.
I
It's
think
our house.
insight would work here to see
Yeah,
if Ibra's got
yeah.
anything guilty written on their
Perception
face.
and insight are kind of, they're both wisdom skills. Yeah, why don't you go
Absolutely.
ahead, as you put on your coat, go ahead and roll insight in lieu of perception to see if you can feel it missing.
I'm just going to show you what that is.
I don't know. I'm not really good at reading numbers, but that does look like a natural 20.
Does that look like a natural 20 to you?
Confirmed. That eyeball looking at me through that 20.
That's a natural 20 in the dragon's eye dice.
Yeah, you have a way of putting on this coat where the moment you grab it, you're always feeling for that secret pocket that you sewed into the lining of your coat. And the minute you grab that jacket, you can feel it's not where you put it.
And I stop dead and I look deep into Ibra's soul. And then I look at Paz with like a slight smile and I say, Paz, if you don't mind, will you go tell Mother that Ibra and I will be a moment?
Yeah. And telepathically goes, are you gonna be okay?
It remains to be seen. You should go.
Okay.
Take Flo.
Okay. Yes, of course, Hima. Hurry back to the table. And then she walks back inside.
I turn to Ibra and I just say, give it back.
I need it. I will trade you for it.
Trade me what?
What do you need? What do you want? What do I owe?
Oh, this is so sweet.
Oh, man.
As much as I appreciate the thought, I don't particularly care about erasing a debt in exchange for not being able to leave the constellation.
You look exactly like Brama. Find theirs.
What do you want this for anyway? Maybe that's the insight.
Yeah, sure. You want to roll insight?
Yeah.
-10. You remember that time you took that lovely girl to Boggins?
Okay, so here's what I want everyone listening at home to understand is that you can only invoke your debt one time. So Ibra has just burned the debt.
The biggest.
And Misha, you can tell everyone what I rolled this time.
Oh, no.
Again, I have a really hard time reading numbers. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is, but that does look like a natural 1.
Yeah, I think I rolled a nat 1.
Oh,
that's
my
a total of a
God.
negative 9.
-9.
No, I think that would be so I can't do math.
No, you're
I was
fine.
worried that I didn't have it right. You had me going.
Wow, so Ibra's not going to tell me what they want it for and what's going on. That's extremely frustrating. So it feels now that the tables have turned and now I can't even ask for anything because it feels like I'm a little bit over a barrel.
No, but I'll say this. It does seem, Hima, to me, that Ibra is willing to eliminate a debt in exchange for what they've taken from your coat.
I've proven it to you.
Find my sibling. Eliminate the other debt.
The one where I broke up with
Shh, be
7?
quiet. Do not even speak the words.
Oh, but it's so much more fun to eliminate it once I've said it.
I'm staring the most daggers I've stared at anyone the entire episode.
I love you too, Heems.
And as you start to walk away, I stop you and I say, and you still owe me another.
Do you plan to cash it in now?
Of course I don't. What do you take me for?
My sibling.
Nah, that is a good point.
I love you, Himbo.
It's a party point for Beck.
Yep.
Mark it down. Don't you deny me my party point.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was laughing.
Just
I
because
didn't
you're
even
at
hear.
a disadvantage in the scene, you better write down the party point.
So then my question is this. Do you then, having gotten what you want, are you walking back into dinner or where are you walking?
I'm marking down the new debt to Hima.
Yeah. That's a big honking debt. Because now I can't go to the lower city.
Until I bring it back to you. Or unless you steal
I know.
Brama's.
That's a side quest.
Yeah.
No, don't do Brama dirty like that. Brama's so stressed all the
You could
time.
try asking too.
That's true.
Are you going back into the party or are you going...
You want to go back in or you want to blow off steam with me?
I'll leave you be.
As you wish.
And then I angrily, my heels tap on the hard floor back into the dining room.
I go and I pick one of each flower from the tree in front, the Bracha-Shinmar tree. I look up into the sky, let down my umbrella, wait for a little trickle of rain to hit my face.
Just a spare drop, just one or two, and distant thunder rolls.
I take out my Bracha-Shinmar booklet that now has 2 passes, and I walk to the end of the driveway, and I hide it in the mailbox to grab on my way out.
Oh, you're a genius.
You're
You're a genius.
That's my child thinking.
You're a genius.
I'm in the presence of my mother. I'm remembering everything she taught me.
Oh my
That's
god.
my
It
child.
all comes flooding back the minute you come home, doesn't it?
I have a hidey hole at the end of the driveway, something that my siblings and I used to leave little messages for each other. Brama and I especially used to draw little pictures to each other. Hima would use it to put gross things in there, but Brama and I would have a lot of fun with
Oh
it.
yeah.
Aw.
And then you head back inside. Brama,
Yeah.
you stayed behind
Yeah.
to talk to your mother.
Yeah. Is Inspector Avona also at the table?
Mhm.
Okay, great. I just want to understand. Are we truly proposing that Ibra join? I thought it was going well so far, and it just started as well.
Can I get an insight check on what's going on with Brama?
Ooh, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead and roll
go for it.
insight.
Because I feel like I know, I feel like I can infer,
Yeah,
but there's
yeah.
just a moment of let's look deeper into
Yeah.
this. That would be a cool 14.
Okay, you get one question off that list.
Okay, one question. What are you worrying that's going to happen? Like what's Brahma's worry right now?
I think you would understand the same thing that I'm always worried about, which is I've been working so hard to impress you every single day. I never leave. I do everything you ask, and it's still not enough.
That hits real deep. But so I have to recover.
And you would just know I'm why again? Why is the spotlight on Ibra again? I don't understand.
Brama, I can see how it is coming across that way. And I am sorry that Ibra is once again demanding my attention, pulling on my skirts, as they are wont to do. I didn't want to trouble you with such things. I didn't want to worry you that your siblings are acting up.
I'm always worried.
I know. And you've been doing such a marvelous job under Inspector Ravona. Evolving, one might say. Truly coming into your own, and I'm very proud of you for this. To the point that I wish Hima and Ibra would fall in line like you do. Because maybe they too could grow and elevate the way you do.
I think inside I'm I don't want this for them. I understand that this is not good. And I don't know how to get out of it, but I don't want it for them.
You understand.
Of course. It's perfectly clear to me.
I think there is a moment, a pause, and I think General Shinmar does a very soft clap. I believe we have a full staff, right?
Mhm.
I would like to call out instrumentalists,
Ooh.
violins that I think I have on retainer, a band.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And I very softly smile to Inspector Ravona. I believe I have something that you would find very fascinating. If you'll excuse me, Brahma and I must prepare it in the other room.
Of course. I'll refresh myself, shall I?
Of course, please feel free to come back and enjoy the entertainment.
I just had a whole scene in my head where Ravona goes into the bathroom and like you've laid out like specific scale scrub because you knew she was coming.
So
Absolutely.
funny.
Fabulous.
I think those are the meticulous niceties that General Shinmar is frustratingly good at.
Yeah.
And she hates that she knows that I need to have specific toiletries out for these specific guests, and this is what Inspector Ravona would like. And yeah, so those are there. There is amenities, there are comforts and luxuries. They're playing her favorite song.
And it was all so much easier when all of that strategic prowess was being used to combat an enemy head on, wasn't it?
It was so much more fulfilling. This is so beneath me. The most alive I think General Shinmar felt tonight was when Ibra said there are attacks in the lower city, and there was that dog inside of her that just wanted to slip the leash and start stabbing once again.
Cool.
But that happens when the war gets bigger.
Oh my god.
That was some ominous shit that you just said.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So just a very polite nod. Brama, if you could, I could use the hand.
Of course.
And I excuse myself into my office with Brama because I think what's going on here needs a very deeper, more emotional sidebar that I would not wish to show in front of Inspector Ravona. So with that and that, I hate that I'm leaving my guest alone. That's such a bad hostess thing to do.
Too. I kept being like, we need to leave to have a conversation.
Oh, it's why I'm like, I have entertainment on staff.
Yeah,
It's
you're a
fine.
genius.
It's fine. I go into my office with Brama. I shut the door. There's a very soft kind of lock, as I want to do, and I want it to be a truly private conversation. I think important thing for the key's in the lock. It's not a moment of you can't escape.
No.
It's not that kind of
It's
conversation.
worse, though, in a way.
In a way, it's worse. Brama,
Mother.
you're usually a person who is worried. You take so much on your shoulders. A very admirable quality. But I'm noticing perhaps there's too much weight. She takes a seat sort of at her desk. It's a very utilitarian office of the chairs are desk chairs. There is no real comfy, cozy lounge seating here. But I think this is her best attempt of kind of having a sit down with her child. What is the weight that is breaking you?
What is it? That's such a question. Mother. What's going on? Why is she here? Why are you trying to get Ibra involved in this? I understand that you have agendas and motives that are far beyond me, and quite frankly, they're none of my business. I am but your child. But I'm getting confused, and I'm getting concerned. Why must the three of us work together? We don't want to. We don't need to. We are all capable warriors. Why put people together who don't want to be together?
It's a very good question. You heard what Ibra said. There are attacks going on in the lower city. There are dangers in the lower city.
And Ibra is more than capable. There are attacks everywhere, Mother. Ibra is more than capable of handling the lower city. Why pull them away? They seem happy down there. They seem focused. They seem
not.
accomplished.
I believe this is a very clever and well-established veneer.
Why? Why? What would give you that indication?
They're missing lessons. They are going against the rules I set.
They're doing their job.
They
I'm
almost
doing my job.
died.
But they didn't. Is that what you're so concerned about? I thought you trained us.
I did. I am concerned.
So you think the best way to go about this is to force them back here? You think that's going to make them listen? You think that's going to make them fall in line?
What do you suggest? Freedom clearly isn't working.
That's not true.
They're recklessly spending the family money.
We have enough money.
For now.
You run a tight ship, Mother. I understand why. But this seems like a waste of your time. It seems less strategic and more emotional. Stop forcing them to be here. Just leave them alone.
Brama, will you roll persuasion for me, please?
Yes. And I am going to invoke my debt,
Oh,
which
yeah?
is
I may have been ready to settle for whatever you threw my way, but even I know growing up here wasn't exactly a picnic.
I would like to also cash in my debt to cancel out your debt.
you.
I am cashing out the debt of just very simply this growing up here wasn't a picnic, and this moment of, do you wish you hadn't grown up at all?
It's a 3.
Ooh.
Sometimes I do.
I just want to see all of you hit your fullest potential.
And when we break, know it will be because of that.
I hope one day you understand.
I won't. I will be here because I have to be, but I will never understand. You feel trapped here too, I know it. You hate this. Why? Why force it on everyone else?
This is the only way we get to be free at the end of the day.
To be in prison? For the promise one day of being released?
It is captivity for now, to be at the top later. Unless you'd prefer to be at the bottom.
I don't even know what the bottom is anymore.
I do.
Mm.
I lived there.
Mm-hmm. Are you jealous of us or something?
Go into that, please. Expand on that.
We didn't pick this. I don't even know why I'm born, what I was made for, and I've wondered every day, and I have kept it inside. I have kept these questions to myself because I didn't feel like I was ever going to get an answer, and I don't think I ever am going to get an answer. And maybe Ibra might get one. And if there's even a shred, a chance for them to have that, I hope they find it. I don't know why you gave up. I don't know why you do this. I don't know why you throw these dinner parties. I don't know why you buy special soap. You hate this shit. And I hate it too.
Brama, what do you want at the end of the day? When all of the shit is done? What do you want?
I want to draw pictures in the mailbox again. I want a schedule that's not filled with training and ceviche and protein and push-ups and sweating and crying and bleeding and breaking all the time. Maybe you loved that shit, but I don't. I don't even know what I like. And that's fine. I can live my life never knowing. But I cannot let them have this too. Take me, it's fine. I'm the best of them. You know that. So keep me here. Just leave them alone.
If I do, it's over.
What do you mean?
Stick it out for another month and we'll talk about it.
You know I always do.
My brave soldier. And with that, I go into my desk. I pull out a ledger, like a history book that is, well, it's immaculately done. Because I do need to come up with something that I think Inspector Rovino would find interesting. Of course, I follow through. I'm not going to show up with nothing. And it's just a very, very detailed, very, very updone book. You are the best of them.
I don't know, but I try.
You're going to know it all one day. Key unlocks, and I leave the room.
I follow.
Maya and Reed gunning for the Oscar today.
For real. Like, Emmys, Oscars, BAFTAs, everything.
Webbies?
Webbies.
Webbies a real thing we could actually get, maybe?
That was glorious. Just gorgeous.
The number of times I've been like, fine, have it. And I'm like, I can't. I know. I can't. There's too much on the line.
That was so good. Both of you. Holy shit. I love that.
You head out of your office and back to the dining room. You pass paths in the hallway, also headed back in that way. And as you enter the dining room again, you catch the tail end of a conversation between Hima and Ravona. And Ravona just says, "Very interesting. I'll have to really consider that. Thank you."
Oh my god.
Yes, please do.
Internally, this is when General Shore goes, fuck, shit.
I can see my mom is starting to lose the plot here, and I think I'm gonna I'll like do the clap for the music to cease. Get the dinner back on track.
Hima,
Are you entertaining our guest with hilarious stories?
You could say something like that.
Always the scoundrel, this one. They're so funny.
Brama, you look so miserable. Buck up. It's not that serious.
It really isn't, is it?
So I sit back down at the table, pour myself a little bit more wine, and just smiling like the Cheshire Cat, I just say, would anyone care to rejoin me?
Yes. And I also drink.
I present the book to Inspector Ravona. As a protectorate of our lovely city, I believe you don't own this volume detailing its marvelous history. I wish you to take this home with you to reminisce on why we do this for.
Ravona looks it over, runs her fingers over the cover. Beautiful, gorgeous detail. Flips it open and scans the first few pages. Ibra, I think that's probably when you rejoin, the last person to rejoin the group.
I walk in quietly to that side of the table. I place the flowers that I've collected right next to Brahma's plate. One of each flower right next to Brahma's plate. And I walk around to the other side of Ravona. I bow and I say, I deeply apologize for my behavior. It was unacceptable. I am deeply remorseful for how I've acted in your presence.
Will you either roll persuasion or deception?
Do you have any more debts that you can burn? Do you have any Also, does me giving a book count as getting a debt on Ravona?
That's a gift.
Yes.
11.
Ravona turns only slightly over her shoulder, not quite all the way to look at you, but just enough to acknowledge, and says, good. She sort of drifts back into this book and furrows her brow and flips a couple of pages. She looks back up to the general and gives a kind of look that's like, is this what I think?
I give a nod, because you can't see it on podcast.
Non-visual medium, baby.
Yeah! I think there's just a very almost kind and warm nod, because I'm assuming this is a good thing.
Ravona carefully lays the cover back down onto the book and pats it twice. A generous gift.
You've been most generous with your time. I only hope I can repay such a gift you've given me.
I am flattered for this gift you've given me and my office, and these gifts, and she gestures to your children.
Yep.
Oh, no.
That you have given to the city.
Yep.
DM, did I see anything over her shoulder, Ravona's shoulder, before she closed the book?
Now, see, Bex, I know your character sheet has a perception stat, so why don't you go ahead and roll it?
So you called us gifts out loud to everybody, or was that a sidebar between just the two of you?
Oh, no, that was out loud to everyone.
I immediately, I'm so locked in right now.
22.
Oh, shit! Give us that plot. Give us that lore.
I love a lore dump.
Lore.
What you can see in those first few pages is the genesis of the city. In the early days of New Prosper, it contains information about how they decided on the site. It tells of an offensive that General Shinmar led to clear out a massive population of Balvaroks. It describes the miracle under the surface and how General Shinmar was instrumental in tracking down and sourcing Astra in the early days of the settlement, in the later days of the war.
I immediately mentally speak to Paz and say, text the group.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
We have a book to steal.
Plot thickens.
She pulls out her compad and starts texting, and the doors to the kitchen swing open, and the main course arrives.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Le course primaire.
The kitchen staff comes out and serves like pretty large portions of pasta bolognese. High protein, high carb for that military life.
And lots of gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately, Paz is in the middle of texting the Pazology group chat.
Oh my god.
And they lay down the plate in front of her, and she, stops her and she makes this face.
Uh-oh.
Mother,
she-
you know
I'm-
Paz can't eat this.
I'm so sorry, General Shinmar. I can't really eat this.
General Shinmar looks at the plate almost as if poison has been put down in front of Paz, because it has.
Yeah.
Looks over at Ibra. There is an actual look of just actual shock and concern. And then I believe the server, I kind of make a small motion.
Comes over and like leans down so that you can whisper in their ear.
And I think it is a whisper, but I think whoever has a good perception might be able to
I'm
hear
also
it.
like next to you.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
I can hear it.
Now, I believe we've had Paz, who's come to our home for quite some time. How long have you worked here?
A servant I have to make up on the spot.
Yeah.
Has only worked here in the past few months. It's so hard to keep a good staff on hand.
There's a moment, looking. Emile, you came highly recommended. This is so disappointing. Pack your knives and go.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Tell them to bring Paz's food out before you leave.
I'll handle it, ensuring no more mistakes.
Brama, you take the plate back into the kitchen. Emile follows you and dejectedly, speaking to no one, making eye contact with no one, simply starts packing their things. You head in and grab the specially prepared meal that Paz has. The entire staff wants to make sure that the main meal is perfect.
Yeah.
And so what gets left for Paz is like, it's well prepared, it's well plated, but
Yeah.
it's still Astra-generated food.
Yeah.
You pick up a plate of green pyramid.
Okay, green.
And-
Better than brown cube.
Better than brown cube.
Better than brown cube.
But green pyramid?
I think if the staff are, I doubt I'm in the kitchen often.
I would recommend everybody here, if you want to keep your jobs, double check the dishes for the rest of the evening. Got it? Thank you.
And then I leave.
Simultaneously, everyone in the kitchen goes, "Yes, chef."
Behind.
And then I like plate it for Paz, and then I take my seat again.
Thanks, Brama. And she
Brambles.
takes a fork and she like tentatively pokes the top point of the pyramid.
Does it jiggle?
Yeah,
Of course
it jiggles a little bit.
It's green pyramid.
Green
Pyramid.
It's a puree.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's like a second or third hand memory of food.
Oh, it's describing the memory of broccoli.
Yeah, and it's listen, it tastes bad. It's like very nutritious, but
Yeah.
it's such an abstract
Yeah.
food stuff.
It's functional.
It's
You know what it
so
reminds me of? Lunchables has just started selling pre-made grilled cheese sandwiches in shrink-wrapped containers.
that's gonna be a hefty no thank you.
There's
from
also
me.
those
Fucking
Smuckers
real.
packaged bread circles with cheese inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I thought we were going to say Uncrustable, and I was
Yeah.
about to
It's in
defend
Uncrustable.
them.
It's a
But
cheese
with cheese.
uncrustable.
Yeah, it's a grilled cheese uncrustable.
No.
Don't.
And it's like perfectly
Yeah.
like factory made,
Yeah, just
toasted on
pressed.
one
I'm
time.
so
pressed.
glad I can't eat any of that.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
And they're selling it to kids. And
I know, we're eating it.
We're eating that up.
I think Ibra, in an effort to lighten the mood, starts telling stories about playing on the front lawn, the three of us, wonderful training sessions with Mother, of course.
Of course.
My favorite one was the ceremony where we all got our weapons. Do you remember that?
Of course I do.
Yeah, you still have
I
yours.
still have mine. I use it all the time. I have been especially using mine lately with this job.
Ravona nods and says, "Yes, Brahma's prowess with the chakram is impressive."
Thank you. Mother trained me well. She is the best, genuinely.
I have heard many tales of your prowess, General Shinmar. I understand you were a force on the battlefield.
Why, thank you.
It seems that Brahma is following directly in your footsteps, a rising star.
Would we perhaps regale Inspector Ravona with a drill?
Yes,
I'd be
please.
delighted to.
The courtyard is always prepared for such occasions.
oh my god.
Do let's.
Mm-hmm.
Very militaristic, standing up.
I stand up, yes.
There is, man, Brama throwing curveballs. Everyone's throwing so many curves.
I know. I want to roll an insight check on the general.
Ooh.
I want to roll one on Brahma.
Dual insight.
Okay. Go ahead and make your rolls.
I rolled a 15.
19.
So each of you can ask one question of your subject. Why don't we go with Hima first?
What you got, Hima?
I mean, to me, it looked like you looked very ruffled just now. I say, Mother, you don't look the happiest. What are you worried is going to happen?
I want to give what she replies and what you get mentally.
Yeah, great.
I think mentally you get there's this moment of sparring at the dinner. That's uncouth. It's in the rule book that no sparring happens during dinner.
Got it.
You think there's that first moment of that's the worry of this is a break of code. This is a break of conduct. I want to add a little more though. It's again that moment of that beast gets a little riled at the idea of like my favorite thing. But this is a creature that has to be put down so often that the moment it gets happy, it's a no, we must be polite in society. She merely speaks and just goes, I only hope that this is entertainment for Inspector Ravona. I wouldn't wish you to be bored during such things.
I find such displays of talent, especially that of the illustrious Bracha-Shinmar clan, to be most impressive.
We shall do our best to impress.
Ibra, how'd you do on your insight?
19.
19? Go ahead and ask your question of Brama.
Oh, dear sibling. As much as I do love watching you spar, especially with Mother, what are you hoping to get from her?
From Mother?
Yes.
One, to demonstrate that I can handle this. And two, hopefully to demonstrate to her that that it is no longer necessary that you need to be a part of this.
I love
and
that.
perhaps if Inspector Ravona sees that Mother is still quite capable in the battlefield, maybe getting her out of the house.
Ooh. I love that.
Yeah. Ooh. So interesting. Brama, you head to the armory of the estate and grab your chakram, 2 round bladed throwing weapons. What's up?
Does Warden's Mark, does the person have awareness? Or do they just have a disadvantage without really understanding why?
I think that anybody who weren't your siblings wouldn't know why.
But what about my mother?
Whoa. Twist.
No, you're a genius. You're a genius.
No, I don't think so.
Yikes!
Warden's Mark, Mother.
Okay.
Wait, so does that mean that I have disadvantage?
She has disadvantage on attacks against you.
Okay, got it.
I forgot that Warden's Mark was a bad thing. I thought it was a boon. I was
Oh,
like,
it's a boon for Brama.
Exactly. I was like, why are you booning me? I'm naughty. No.
Okay.
Here we go.
You head out to the lawn and arm up. Brama, you take a comfortable stance. General, you draw your hip-side sword in a flourish.
Yeah.
And you face each other across the track.
Let's see your skills.
That'll be fun, won't it?
And Brama, you catch a brief flash of something feral across your mother's face.
Yeah. And I think I'm glad. I think this is what I wanted.
I think you hear the sound in your head that Warden's Mark makes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel the familiar buzz of magic.
And you know it's not on you.
Okay.
Brama and General Shinmar, go ahead and roll attack rolls on each other.
Okay.
General Shinmar, you're going to roll with disadvantage
I am.
because of Warden's Mark. Ibra, what's your usual addition to attack rolls?
+5.
Okay, so Brama, you're going to add +5 to your roll.
Okay.
General, you're going to add +7.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
12.
11.
Oh my god!
Holy crap.
The wind whistles through the courtyard, waiting for either of you to twitch and make the first move. You stand stock still, waiting for the premier moment to strike. Brama, you catch the first hints of a snarl across your mother's face, and you know this is your moment. You lunge forward and strike, and a slim trickle of blood runs down your mother's cheek. Ravona, on the front steps of the house, catches your eye, Brama, and nods graciously and starts a small clap.
Ibra starts just absolutely howling, and I'm like, Brama! Go Brahmas!
I think I'm going to do a performance check and see if I do a nice bow. We'll see how that goes. That is the same number again. It's 11.
Okay.
Just a little one.
Yeah, just sort of like curt and very militaristically, Ravona says, incredible. A rising star.
Oof.
I think there's she claps as she kind of stands and just nods to you. Well done.
Thank you, Mother.
Dinner and a show.
I think, like, against my better judgment, I chuckle because just I can't help it around Ibra.
I think Hima's silent the whole time because they know how potentially bad that is going to go for Brama in the long run.
I think I go to Inspector Ravona and I just say, like, my siblings are gifts, but I believe I am more than capable of handling the responsibility of this role on my own.
Ravona claps you on the shoulder. I believe in you, Brama. You have everything it takes to keep this city safe. And in the background, Paz kind of grips Ibra's shoulder tight and says, in your mind, not everything.
I put my hand on Paz's and don't say anything. Hey, that was possibly the best entertainment of any of the dinner parties in the last 20 years. I would argue that we should end on a high note. What do you think, Mother?
I think that's a very sound decision, Ibra. Walk with me, would you?
Of course.
Brama, I believe the night's in your very capable hands.
Of course.
Well, this was interesting indeed. Good night, everyone. I'll be in the East Wing.
Good night, Himbo.
And I think I stroll with you kind of down the driveway that you were just strolling down. It's always good to see you, Ibra.
And you, Mother.
I hope you understand my concerns that I've been having for you and your little group.
I do.
What do you think of my concerns?
I think that as my mother, your concerns for my safety are more than valid.
And you understand that sometimes as a mother you have to make hard decisions.
I understand that more than just as a mother, you often have to make hard decisions.
I'm glad we could be of that understanding. I feel like there's so much of your life that I don't hear from you. I must hear from others, and it is a shame.
I believe that when it comes from my mouth, you find it distasteful. And when it comes from anyone else's mouths, you find it equally as distasteful. So I am left at an impasse, unaware of how to best explain my situations to you in a way that will bring you the joy that my life brings me.
That's most troubling. Brama has inspired me to start asking questions of my children. Ibra, what do you want when all of this is done?
Do you remember how you trained me, Mother?
Of course.
I want to train the next generation. I want to be a coach, a teacher, an advocate, a pillar of strength for the community. I want to teach like you taught me, with grace and power.
And what I am doing is helping you build towards that dream. I hope you understand that.
I understand how you feel.
I think I'm going to have to cut you off for 5 days.
As you wish, Mother.
Starting today, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you feel the need to buy Astra, do it from something better than a vending machine.
Yes, ma'am.
Your siblings spoke well of you tonight. You should thank them.
I will.
I look forward to hearing more from you. Stay close to your phone. And with that, she gives a curt nod and then walks back up to the home.
I follow a few steps behind.
Paz catches you on your way back up the driveway in your mind and goes, oof, dude.
That's the name of the episode.
Oof, dude.
Oof, dude.
Oof, dude.
Oh, how did I handle that? I blacked out for a minute. Whew. Okay.
Ibra, you were kind of great.
Thanks, buddy.
You're greater than you think you are.
No, I'm just trying my best.
I think we just gotta make sure we're trying our best for the really important things.
I think we are. Whether my mother agrees or not.
Paz walks down the driveway to meet you, and is speaking to you in your mind as though they were standing next to you, and she telepathically indicates towards your pocket, like a buzz in your brain towards your pocket where your pass is, and mentally indicates towards the mailbox where the other one is, and goes, "Don't worry about that other stuff. We got real work to do."
You couldn't be more right.
The Wandering Path was created by me, Misha Stanton, and produced by Bex Taylor-Klaus, Lynn Rafil, and me. This story was game mastered and sound designed by me, Misha Stanton, and was played and performed by Bex Taylor-Klaus, Lynn Rafil, Ian McEwen, and Mayana Barron. Cover art by Lynn Rafil, transcript assistance by Darby Summers, and music courtesy of the Independent Music Licensing Collective. Our production and house manager is Erin Bark. If you like what you're listening to, please tell your friends and let them know where to find us. Our website is wanderingpathpod.com, where you'll find links to subscribe and follow us wherever the path leads. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/wanderingpathpod. We're so grateful for anything you can do to help us keep making this show. Thanks for wandering with us. Till next time.